Recently, I noticed that a friend of mine had worn out her checkbook. Each time she pulled it out of her purse, she removed the rubber band that was holding everything together. Being the good friend that I am, I gave her a beautiful new floral checkbook cover so she didn't have to use the rubber band and our shopping trips wouldn't be slowed down.
Your sewing will not slow down either because these projects are very quick and they have perfect pockets for all the components of the checkbook. And then if you have a carbon paper for your checkbooks, Georgie has designed these so it's just like the plastic ones that you'll get with your check refills, only out of fabric.
Yes, and you can choose a fabric
that you like.
Absolutely.
You're going to start with rectangles.
Yes, the first piece we have is an 8 by 7 1/4 inch rectangle, and this is the back of the fabric. And then you will take two 2-inch ribbons and fold them in half and tape them on either end of the outside fabric. Your next piece you have is the lining piece, and you will stitch it to the top of the outside of the checkbook, and you'll just serge along the top of that. You will also have 2 pocket pieces, and one of the pocket pieces you will fold in half, right sides out, and just press it flat. And I have one of those here. And the other pocket piece you're going to fold in half, wrong sides out, and you're going to serge along that edge, and you'll turn that right side out. Now, putting all those pieces together, here we have our lining that we've serged to the top. And the folded pocket, I've serged to the bottom of the outside piece. And then I'm going to take the pocket that I stitched and tuck it up under the lining just as close as I can get. And fold that on top. And we're going to serge the 2 outside seams. So let's do that now.
As you can see, all of this serging is so simple, and the pieces are rectangular or squares. It's not difficult.
Right. I'm going to fold this edge, the serge seam edge, as I get ready to stitch that because I don't want any excess bulk.
One of those wrap corners that we use.
Yes. And again, I'm going to turn this seam up.
And you'd repeat the same on the other side. And
Yes.
of course, I have a sample here where both side seams have been sewn. You notice that the lining has been cut a little bit shorter than the base of the checkbook, and all the corners have been pressed under or stitched under so that when I right side this little sleight of hand, all of Georgie's techniques have this unique turning technique, layering. So we turn it once. Now this is the lining. So I'm going to bring the checkbook band to this side, and on the lower edge, notice the lining here, we're going to flip it again. Now, granted, I'm not taking time to make the corners sharp, which I would do with a bamboo pointer and creaser, but I think you get the general idea how this, again, would create the checkbook in just a few minutes of time. Now, this next checkbook cover has the woven section. And Georgie started out with those 9-inch squares, and you cut them.
Yes, you have 3 9-inch squares, and 2 of them you will cut in random strips of fabric. And then you want to take those strips and do a rolled edge.
And you just use the same settings that we used for the rosettes. Check your owner's manual and serge the edges. Just make a nice clean edge. Then one of the pieces has a paperback fusible web.
Right, once you get that attached, you want to remove the paper and lay down 1 layer of all of your strips, whether the horizontal or vertical, and the web is kind of tacky, and so it's going to allow you to weave those pieces in.
And I'm just going to weave in one section, but I think you get the general idea. You use the weaving technique you learned in 2nd grade, and you weave them all down and press. And that gives you the stepped-up version for your checkbook face.